All right. Little special Friday edition here. We got Black Friday. We got 4 teams to build. I did build some FanDuel stuff last night. Really, the only thing I need to watch out for is the Taj Bullock news, like I mentioned. Um, Halloween for Temple is very cheap on FanDuel, which is helpful. And then Nick McMillan. So there's a lot of very fun easy ways to build on FanDuel personally, so it's not very difficult. Now the tricky part is going to be on DK. I don't quite know what I want to build. I got 4 teams to build, 3 for the big boy, 1 for the single entry. I mean, it's pretty easy to say. So I don't love the Hawkins tag. I'm willing to play it because there are I think to myself, and this is the way that I kind of consider things, right? So like on FanDuel wise, I would prefer to pay for Hawkins than pay for Mestamaker. Just because Mestamaker doesn't have the same upside, right? Especially on a half PPR, very touchdown dependent site. I think Hawkins has more ceiling. But that's the debate, right? I'm going to have at least one team with Hawkins in this spot. He's an absolute animal. And I'm struggling with the fact that my mind says that Evan Simon's a great play at 5,700. And how much exposure do I want to that? I did build some 20 max stuff, and I have a lot of Evan Simon because I love the Temple wide receivers. I think they're cheap. They're very good plays. I'm not the biggest Jay Ducker fan. 22.5 point team total. Like Hawkins is very good. I just think he's maybe too priced, you know? So yeah, so that Michael, that begs the question, right? So let's say you're going 4 running backs. Who are you getting in? Because obviously you would want to play Lacey, you'd want to play Hawkins, right? So let's just say we're going 4 running backs. My guess would be is that you need to be. It can't be Siobhan Wright, right? It's not Siobhan Wright. You'd have to be playing for it to be worth it for me. Probably Bangura. I like Bangura a lot. I think Bangura might even be a better play. So let's say Avant. I think Avant's the sneaky one. Me personally, I really do like Dylan Carlson. Dylan Carlson keeps messing me up. But yeah, I like Dylan Carlson a good bit, but that's just my gut feel, right? FanDuel wise, you want to punt, go to Nikari Rogers or Carson. I think Rogers is a very sneaky FanDuel play because he's live to score 2 touchdowns. They love to go to him in the red zone, especially over Wayshawn Parker. I don't think people are going to be on Bangura. It's a debate for me whether he's the second best play on the slate behind Lacey at running back, or is it Hawkins? I think Lacey's the lock. You just got to play him. Then it becomes a situation of Bangura or not. So let's just say Avant, right? I agree with you. I just have a history of me and Dylan Carson doing well together as a pairing. We seem to be on the same page with each other. So then sometimes I see Air Force, like in this spot, I see Colorado State, and me and him have this like unspoken bond, we'll say. And every time I just kind of get a feeling as what was that guy's name? Jackie something from Eastbound and Down said, I just feel it in my plums. Yeah, Dylan Carson to me, we have it's something about it, man. I just have this gut feeling there. But I agree. So let's just say we're building this, right? Um, no, I don't want do not go all in on Carson. I'm telling you, I might take a shot on one of these. I do have a share in my I have some shares in my 20 max, but it's only if I couldn't get to a Vaunt and I wanted to get a 4,600 guy and I decided to jam him in, then yeah, I'll do it. But obviously, like I prefer Cameron Dorner. I think Larry Simmons. Like you get those, there's a lot of very good plays in that range, um, mainly at wide receiver. But it's just me, and I just have a gut feeling on Dylan Carson. He could easily drop point 0.5 points on 2 carries for 5 yards and just destroy you today. But so let's see here. You were saying, I mean, I'm just trying to rationalize this team. Good gravy. Okay. Um. All right. Well, I see where this is going, I guess. So, see, that's the thing, Michael. I love Gronowski today, and I don't think anybody does. As far as I'm concerned, I have no idea. So, I am going to double check all that stuff. Actually, I need to still text my guy. Yeah, they're talking about Mario Craver. Some guys talking about Mario Craver. Um, so if it's see, that's my thing. And that's why I like Gronowski. So one of the guys I was talking to, he just kept waxing poetic about Kamari Moulton today. And I was like, yeah, but Gronowski's a runner. Like, you're not gonna consider the fact that Gronowski just runs the football, and yeah, because you like Moulton running it, then that means you probably like Gronowski. You know what I mean? Yeah. So what I would say is that you're going to end up. Let's just say off of this build right here, this specific build, you're going to end up with. I would say Chase, no doubt about it. I think Noah Thomas you end up with, and then that's going to leave you 46. And I mean, it's kind of nasty in that 46 range. I would love to be able to save another 200 to get to Cameron Dorner personally in this spot. Otherwise, you would go to Bermudez. Maybe it's not Chase. I think you would go. Let's just say we did it a different way. Let's say we went Halloween. I would probably go Halloween and like somewhere in that range. But yeah, that's kind of where I would be. Oh, okay. You got Young over Bangura. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I like Bangura a lot. That's just my sneaky play. All right, so then that gives you Young. So let's say Noah Thomas, Colin Chase, and then that's gonna give you 5,300. I mean, that's where it gets ugly. It's so hard because like you're at that point, I want to save the 100. I'd almost come off of Young and go McMillan or Parker. I'd go McMillan or Parker in that spot then. Like you could easily let's just say Parker just to for the Vance. Now I get Brady Boyd because with Pagan being out, although Pagan's not announced out, but with Pagan out because he's gonna be, you get the stack partner now. But that's my thing though, is like if I'm going Parker, yeah, exactly. And you're definitely stuck at that 5,300. There's just like even if we go to the running back side of that, the only way to play that, I guess there's a couple ways you could play that at 5,300. You can either decide, hey, I'm going to go Jay Ducker. Telly Johnson's fine. Bowens, I think's fine. LaShawn Williams is fine. Like they're all fine. See, the thing with Parker is, I like Parker today. I think Parker. I'm going to take shots on Parker. He does scare me just from the aspect that I don't particularly trust him to score touchdowns. So it's a big risk. I think Bangura and Lacey are 1 and 2 for me very clearly in my book. Some of that's just because I have priors and I know that I like Bangura a good bit. I gotta hit my FSU guy up because I was talking about that last night. Where was I looking at on that FSU stuff? I needed to hit him up about. I like Sturzer. Yeah, Rocky Beers is the goated name, and Rocky Beers needs a Coors sponsorship. Like the fact that he maybe doesn't or doesn't have a Coors sponsorship would indicate the fact that I haven't even seen it is insane enough at this point. All right. Sorry. Checking on the FSU guy. I do like Sturger though. I have a team like the afternoon slate where I needed 3,100. Like he's the guy that if I need a 3,100 guy, I jammed him in currently. Now, yeah, I keep messing up and thinking that Florida State game is today. It's not. So Sturzer, I did jam in a team just to get everything else I wanted. That's what I'm saying, Myron. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm getting you. I'm trying to find out about Lwayne McCoy. I'm trying to work on stuff for tomorrow this week for y'all. Uh, yeah. Barnes gonna play. Yeah, Barnes gonna play. Yeah, Bryson Barnes is playing. I haven't seen anything saying that he wasn't. He's Haynes King light. Yeah, Bronco and them. I think Utah State wins that game outright against Boise. Yeah, that's what you have to do. But that's what you have to do, Myron. Like people, so that is the thing I've learned from NFL. That's why I've started getting a little bit better at this. Is like most of us, if we're hand building, right? Or if we're, not running a full projection system, which I might work on some other things in the off season now that I've seen how these optimizers work from playing all the NASCAR stuff. I'm gonna try to get something to figure out to help me out. I 100% would bet Utah State money line. I mean, dude, I think there's great money line games all weekend. Like Mississippi State is a great money line shot. Today, I mean, just looking at the slate today, I don't know that Colorado State's a bad shout. Georgia Tech's a fun one. Utah State's a fun one. Like, there's just so many rivalry games. It's kind of fun here. So yeah, I'm super interested. But the thing that we do inherently is when we're newer starting out, we jump all over the fact that we need to play very different. We need to play extremely different and get all over the board. and just go, oh, well, everybody's playing Keywan Lacey, so I need to fade him. Like, no, at some point in time, like some of the plays are the best plays for a reason. So some of these guys, like to me, Noah Thomas and Keywan Lacey, you just go with and you say, okay, fine. I'm just going to play them. If you're going to get different a little bit here and there. Gunnar Stockton, great play. I like Texas money line as well. I do have that. Arizona State's good money line bet as well. I got a lot of money. I think I have like 15 money line bets. Hopefully, best case scenario from this weekend, and the best case scenario for me for the entire season is if Jeremiah Love can just pop a game off, because I still have a ticket on him from preseason, and I added more money line. 50. Well, he's like 50 plus to 1 for Jeremiah Love to win the Heisman. So I would be pumped because I actually did a video on him long before any of you had ever seen me of Heisman long shots, and he's in it. And that was a long, long time ago. So if he wins that sucker, I'll feel really good. Because I got a couple 50 to 1 tickets on Jeremiah Love, and he shouldn't have been 51. I know that for a fact. So going back to Rod's question there, he's talking about the cheap Utah State receivers. I think Sturzer's like a last option in. I wouldn't consider him a play, but if you've got 3,100, it was my afternoon slate and there was nothing. The small night slate is really fun. Yeah, and a fun fact on the Heisman stuff. A running back has won the Heisman every year that's ended with a 5. So that would be fun. But yeah, tonight's small night slate tonight is a blast. Me personally, I like the Indiana running backs. I think that's the way to play that game. They're just going to dominate Purdue up front. They're going to mix and match. I think the running backs in that whole night slate are ass. Like, I do not want to play any of them, basically. I played Ishmael Mahdi and I think Kalen Black. I think the Texas A&M game, you can stack both quarterbacks if you want. I think Noah Fafita's got a good price. Jeff Sims. I mean, how do you not keep playing Jeff Sims? We love Jeff Sims in here. We're fans for life now. We appreciate him. He made back he made back all of the money and then some that he had cost me for years. So I do greatly appreciate that. All the grief and heartache he caused only to redeem himself. And then you totally redeemed yourself, Jeff Sims. And then he's got a fun stack partner with Jordan Tyson playing his last game against Arizona. Like, there's so much little fun narrative stuff in here. I think you just ignore Purdue. And then if you want to play Indiana, you can. You can play Kobe Martin. Like, I debated that, but I don't think you needed that much salary. But then you don't really want to pay for Roman Hemby, so you end up on Kalen Black, and then you can't play Texas running backs, but then you got Texas A&M backs. They mix and match in. Arizona backs are trash. Like, ownership's could be all over the freaking place. And then Quincy Craig's back for Arizona at running backs. And then you don't really love Ishmael Mahdi or Riscano. Riscano just snaked 3 touchdowns from Mahdi last week. Now I'm kind of wanting to jump on the Mahdi train. I still reserve the right to change my mind here, but I'm not playing Raleek Brown. I mean, I think you could easily swap it. The smart play is probably to go Fafita and Raleek Brown, because Raleek Brown's probably the safest workload of the entire running back group of that 3-game set. So play Raleek Brown with an Indiana running back, maybe even Kobe Martin, and then swap and go like Hudson. And I think everybody's going to do that, though. So I kind of want to get different and not go Fafita. And I love an Arizona State game. My cousins will be at that. They live out there. They went to Arizona, so they'll be at that game. But yeah, that's a fun one. No. Yeah. So I'm looking for Colorado State news. I'm sending a message to my guys. Same thing though. I'm still checking on Florida State rotation at wide receiver. But I got to figure out these teams. So I built the night stuff. I built some FanDuel stuff. I built some stuff with Taj Bullock too. I actually asking about the Colorado State stuff right now. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we want to play in our 3 big entries here? I think it comes down to I got to pick 2 of Simon, Gronowski, Barnes, Mestamaker, and Stockton. I feel like I want to play Stockton, Gronowski. I just think Georgia puts up a huge number today. I feel like Georgia. So the smartest way to play any of this whole slate is. So what I would say is the 2 teams that I feel the most likely to throw up the biggest numbers are Georgia, North Texas. So how do you play that? Do you play that as, because I'm only playing 3 entries in this. So you've got the option of Stockton, Mestamaker. That way you take the 2 high scoring teams. I think Stockton, Mestamaker makes a ton of sense. So let's workshop that. Well, actually, here's the other teams that I built earlier. So I think I don't have a Stockton. I do have a Stockton Mestamaker team. And then that's got a double stack with Holloway and Siobhan Wright, which I actually do really like that lineup. I don't know that I want to play it, but I do like that lineup. Because I can go Lloyd Avant here, but then I end up kind of stuck in that spot, so I don't love that. Then you can also do Simon and Stockton. You get the Temple double stack with the top 2 wideouts. You get Noah Thomas. You get McMillan with Hawkins and Lacey. I do like that option. Which that would be Wyatt Young, but I can't get him. It's just not feasible. I do like that team a lot though. Because I love getting the Temple doubles. I also kind of want to see what I can build if I do this team without Hawkins. So Simon, Gronowski. So if I do Simon, Gronowski in here, let's put that team in there. Let's import this team because I actually do want to see something. Because this is the team I am debating playing. Is not that I want Bangura in this spot if I play it. And then I want Wyatt Young. All right. Then that leaves me 5,700, which I also kind of hate the guys in that spot. But see, this is the problem is now I've got Noah Thomas and don't want Noah Thomas in that spot. Because I would want to play Zach Branch. And I don't want to play Thomas and Branch without Stockton. So that's kind of what bothers me in that spot. So at that point, do I just do that and go, all right, I'll find then I'm going to play it, but I'm going to play it through this. And then the question becomes is do I like at that point? Yeah, because I'm going to need to play a Temple wide receiver here. No doubt about it. So you can do Clark, you can do Chase. Clark's the tight end, so I prefer Chase. So like, do I want to play this? Would I rather play this? Like, what is the case for this? What is the way that this wins? Is the question, right? I think Simon's got to throw for 300 and 3, more than likely. Probably get you 20 plus. kind of fun when I only have to build 4 teams and I don't really have to worry about too much. I get to kind of diddle with this, you know? I don't see any. That's funny. So this is from I searched out the Colorado State quarterback, Jackson Brousseau. Searched out his name, and he had played 20 quarters of football as the quarterback at this point, and in 13 of them, Colorado State hadn't scored. I mean, he sucked. He sucks. Like, I'm never gonna play that kid. He's so bad. All right, is there anything new on this cat? Like, I need to find. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really do want. I kind of want Taj Bullock to play. I think it'd be more fun that way. I think it's more fun that way. Let's see. I kind of like this, and there's the reason I would say I like this is if Chase can give me. Problem is he doesn't have that like 100+ upside, but if he just kind of gives me 16, I'll take it. It's not really about him. It's more about what can Evan Simon give to me. Can he give me 25, 30? But this is such a floor play team. Like maybe Gronowski gets you to 25, 20. It's just a team that's going to get me like 10 to 20 on every spot, and then the running back should throw up a 30 spot, and they're just kind of safe all the way across the board. So I'm kind of interested in playing this because most people are going to play. Most of the people are going to swap this out, and they're going to take him, or they're going to take Bangura, make it. Most people are going to take Bangura and make it Hawkins. And they're going to swap Branch for his counterpart down here. And then make some adjusting all the way around. I think they're going to want to get off of Branch. I think McMillan and Young aren't really going to be in lineups together. I do want to play a team like this. It's just so easy. I think I want to play a Gronowski team. The question I really have is the upside of Gronowski big enough by comparison to Simon, right? I think the upside of Simon is so much higher than Gronowski. That's why I'm more on Simon than Gronowski. I think the floor is probably better for Gronowski, but I feel like the upside's just so much better. I mean, I'm definitely going to want to have a Stockton Mestamaker team. I don't see how I wouldn't. I don't see how I wouldn't want a Stockton Mestamaker team. I'm tempted by a Gronowski Simon team just because the punt play wise. I'm tempted by Barnes. I think I'm. I feel like two Stockton teams make a ton of sense. Stockton Mestamaker, Stockton Gronowski. Gronowski Simon. I don't know anybody's going to build a team like this. So that's why I'm tempted of this. But it's just weird. I definitely think I need a Stockton Simon team. And then just figure out how I want to build it. But like this does fade Noah Thomas, which I like. It kind of fades some stuff. I definitely want a Simon double. in here with Hawkins, probably with Stockton, because then I could pay for all the running backs. So here, let's build this thing out. I actually do think I know I'm gonna want that. So let's just go Hawkins. Actually, I think I might already have it. It's a Stockton. I still like this team. I'm still tempted for this one. This one I feel like is like a fun one. Siobhan Wright with a North Texas double stack, a Halloween bring back, and then a Stockton stack. Like I put some of the stuff in the single, like the 20-minute injury max, and it's actually fun. This one's fun too. This full game stack. North Texas. You get Simon, Ducker, Chase, Dorner, Young, Emmett Johnson. Like, it's just a fun, different way to play it. I don't like this lineup as much as I like the other one that we built. We just built the Gronowski Simon team. The other one, I like that one better. So yeah, Stockton. Let me put this in because I actually do like this team. So let's import this. Is this the way that I want to build this? I don't know. Good morning. Good morning. I don't mind. I like Lloyd Avant. I think he's perfectly fine. I'm pretty tempted to take a shot on Dylan Carson just because I'm a glutton and I've gotten Dylan Carson right so many times that I'm so tempted by it. That's all. And I prefer Sire Gaines if you're going to take a Boise running back. Just personal preference there. I'm really tempted by this. Although I'm technically speaking, I kind of want to go down here. So I'll tell you what I kind of want to do. I think this is the optimal way to play this because McMillan's a filthy beast. But I kind of want to do is do that and um, that and that. So I kind of want to do it this way. I'll be honest, that's kind of the way I'm debating moving it to. I do like Wyatt Young. I think there's so many fun ways to do this when you get away from Caleb Hawkins. Because, like, what are the ways? What's up, Warren? What are the ways that Hawkins doesn't get there, right? Or what is the outcome necessary for Hawkins to get there? Is the question. I mean, the man scored. This is insane. The man scored 33 points and didn't score a touchdown in this game. That's just nutty. But like, you see 8 points against USF, 24. I would think anything under 30 is a loss. Here, I'll show you my core on FanDuel. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. I'm going to delete some of the players off of here. But like, I don't know. Does Hawkins, what does Hawkins do? I guess is the question. I share this tab. All right. So for me, it's Keywan Lacey, Halloween, and McMillan as the top three options, just based on like relative price for these two. And he's the best running back play on the slate. And then I think you just kind of play around with quarterback wise. I think you're looking at Barnes, Stockton, Reed, Arch, all fine. Jeff Sims, good play. Gronowski's such a floor play. Kemper Hodges is kind of interesting, I guess. technically speaking. Evan Simon still fine as well at 7,700. And then you get the guy that I'm still trying to figure out whether he's going to start or not. I actually think Bird Ficklin has some sneaky upside at 5,900. I'm kind of surprised he's priced down there. Taj Bullock at 5,500. I actually do have interest in. Yeah, I mean, you're basically playing a running back at that point. You know, at that point though, if you're gonna play the NIU quarterback on, let's just say on FanDuel because of the pricing, but at that point, if you're gonna do that, do you not just say I'm gonna play Bird Ficklin even though he's the backup quarterback and have him run for 100? Um, you know, I mean, the relative difference here, like I just think Lacey's a better play than Hawkins, even if they were the same price. I understand why Hawkins is priced where he is, though, and I would play him. I do have some exposure. Bangura, I love, obviously. I have a hard time not loving Bangura. I feel like everybody's going to flock to this play, and I just don't like it. Parker, I think's good at 9. But otherwise, you got some great options. Like Frazier's a good play at 78. Gaines at 75 is a great option. Siobhan Wright at 7K is a good play. I think a lot of people end up on Bolton at 7K. I think you split between him and Wright. I don't know that there's any difference between Siobhan Wright and Kamari Moulton. Jay Ducker's fine play at 68. I definitely prefer the 7K guys. Avon at 66 is fine. Carson, a little bit, definitely a more thin play here on FanDuel at 65. And then Bowens, I would prefer to Carson for sure at 6,500. If you're going to go down to this doldrums. And then if you want the, I think Kobe Martin's in play. They'd probably kill them. If you want the play of all play, I do have a team with Nakari Rogers. 5,600 is a small price to pay in that spot. He has the opportunity to be able to catch a lot of balls. And then, you know, your all rest of your wide receivers are based on stack options, right? Like if you're playing Marcel Reed, I would play Casey Concepcion. If you're playing Jeff Sims, it's fine. If you can get Jordan Tyson, you don't have to, but you can, you know. Wingo's good play. I prefer Arch with some other guys, but like wide receiver wise, this is where you get into the Utah State guys. You know, you get Kahanu Davis at 5,200. I like, don't forget Anthony Garcia at 64, Brady Boyd at 74. I do have an Anthony Garcia team, no doubt, because he's the kind of their wildcat option in that spot. Noah Thomas has a good price at 68. Yeah. So, and then Holloway's just so cheap. I think Chase, Holloway, they're all easy clicks in that spot. Personally, I really do like the idea of being able to get Bangura with McMillan, Lacey, Holloway. But I'm kind of just playing around with some fun stuff there just to do some of that. Yeah, I mean the question is what does it take for Hawkins to get there, and can he do it? You know, does he score 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns? He can. I mean, we know that. We've seen it each of the last 3 weeks. If he had gotten the 100-yard bonus, does he get there last week? Is 10K too much? That is a question. I feel like this has some legs, and it's a different way for a way for me to get different. I think people are going to play the. Actually, technically speaking, you know what? I don't even have to double stack Evan Simon here. I didn't think about that because I hadn't been thinking about it, but I can do it the other way. I haven't done this yet. I can double stack UGA. Yeah, I know. I hate the fact that Garcia is a quarterback on DK because Garcia is the number 2 wide receiver in that offense today. And they're banged up to hell at wide receiver. So you can't play their number 2 wide receiver. It's because of the way the scoring's set up. And he's technically speaking was a quarterback on the roster to start the season. They just haven't switched him over. Their stats provider, I'll say, hasn't switched him over. So what do I do? Do I play this? Is the question. Because this is the spot like where you would, technically speaking, I think most people would play Emmett Johnson over Sia Bangura. Like Emmett Johnson's going to catch a ton of balls. He's going to run it 25 times. Projections say Emmett Johnson by about 3 points. My gut says Sia Bangura. I'm a Bangura fan, though, longtime fan, multiple time listener. See, that's the thing, man. I'm kind of tempted to fade that at 29K. Not fade, obviously. I have some exposure. Y'all saw the teams. But, like, if I'm playing 3 teams, I'm more tempted to go Bangura. I'm playing Lacey. Like, I don't see how Lacey's not 50+% owned. I know that he's going to be heavy owned. I understand the thesis of Hawkins, and I'm going to play a Hawkins team more than likely. I just don't know how much I want to do it. Like, I'll play Hawkins probably in in the $5 single entry, but yeah, he can just win you a slate. The thing is like you're saying, oh, like it'll say, hey, Ohio's got a 26-point projection, and I don't think people like Bangura, but like, yes, Buffalo's good at defending the run. What do you freaking do? It's supposed to snow a little bit in Buffalo. I don't yeah, if you want to play Javin Jacobs, you can. If I would play Brady Boyd first because they're the same price, but I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, dude, if Lacey's 35%, so here's the thing. So Myron points out a good thing. Hawkins is 29%. I'm happy being under the field at 20% or 15%, 10%. I'm happy being underweight there. Lacey, by comparison, is 35%. Lacey is a 5x better play than Hawkins for the price, for my money. From a I know what he's going to do situation, Lacey is a monster. So I would prefer to be overweight on Lacey, underweight on Hawkins. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, if you look at this, Emmett Johnson's right up there with Hawkins and Jeremiah Love as far as how many points he scores. Iowa is pretty good, man. They're only projected for 16 points. I think if I was playing Gronowski on this team, I would have interest because that's kind of where you get that stack. I like this as a double stack option, and I prefer Bangura. That's just me. I'm going to go Bangura. Myron, you have a Bangura projection, ownership projection? Do you have any idea on that? I mean, I don't want to steal anybody's shit. I'm just curious what Bangura, that'd be the one that I'm curious about because I don't think people are going to play Bangura. I think everybody's going to pay down there, or they're either paying all the way up for Hawkins or they're paying all the way down. Would be my guess. They're getting down to like Parker, Gaines, Avant, like Siobhan Wright. They're paying down into the low 6s or 5s even, or even the 4s. But I don't think anybody wants to play Bangura right next to Emmett Johnson. And they're only really going to want to play Lacey in that spot. So I would think Bangura's sub. Man, I think I might be able to get Bangura at sub 20. If I was to guess. Yeah. Is he like sub 15%? Because I may end up going overweight then, if that's the case. Like I will go overweight. No doubt about it. People are forgetting because the difference is like, oh my, okay, wow, 8%. Because the thing is like Parker Navarro last year destroyed his fantasy value when he was scoring all those touchdowns, or destroyed the running backs fantasy value, but they didn't have Bangura, right? Bangura had run off for a year and went to Minnesota to languish and just kind of ride the bench. And then he came back healthy as a horse. Now he's dominating again. I'm not the biggest Parker Navarro fan, but he destroyed me multiple times a year ago, specifically the MAC title game. Um, he has upside for sure. He's going to run the football, but this is a team that's going to run the heck out of football this year. And I think the Bangura thing at 8%, I don't know. I don't know how you hang on. Let's look at let's look at this because I want to Buffalo Bulls. I want to see some of the teams that they've played and what some other backs have done because sometimes stats don't tell a story here. Schedule. All right, let's go. Oh God, what did they do? They gave me the freaking. Whoa! They gave me the basketball team. I can't have that. This is not basketball season, Skir. This is football season. There you go. Got it. All right. Let's see here. Where's the schedule? So they have faced. Let's go. Let's look at this Miami of Ohio game. We'll look at the Central Michigan game, even though they kind of suck. Bowling Green has Dowdy, but not much else. Akron can't run the football. UMass can't run the football. Eastern Mich can't run the football. Like that's the thing. Like who do they play? I mean, I guess Eastern Michigan has Dante McMillan, right? Troy sucks running the football. Kent State sucks running the football, and then Minnesota, who Darius Taylor was hurt in that game. I want to say. All right, they haven't faced a run defense that's nearly as good as Bangura. Hey, Myron, you want to talk about a team that stop throwing the football? It's Northern Illinois. Good gravy. Northern Illinois doesn't know the forward pass exists. All right, so let's go through because I'm legitimately curious here. A Buffalo run defense facing Sia Bangura at 8% ownership. Okay. This might end up determining my entire slate. I'll be honest. Because I think now that I know that this is 8%, I might end up I mean, I've already got two teams over here built that have Bangura in them. And this team's about to get locked in. And then I might have to figure out one that has Hawkins. But other than that, I don't know how yeah. McMillan's a monster. So Miami of Ohio, they played last week. Backup quarterback from Miami of Ohio. Jordan Brunson, who I think is nowhere near the running back of Sia Bangura. 16 carries, 123 yards, 7.7 a carry. Did not score a touchdown, but they did have 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. Just other people got them. All right, so let's see what the Central Michigan Chippewas did. Trey Cornist, not very good running back. 10 carries, 62 yards, average 6.2 a tote. Kind of like that, I'll be honest. That's still acceptable for me as far as I'm concerned. I feel pretty good about that considering Central Michigan sucks. Dindy, it's Bowling Green, though. They're kind of trash. They're 1-4 in the MAC or whatever it is. They ended up being terrible in the MAC. I don't even know what the final record for Bowling Green is in the MAC. 2-6. So they're not exactly a good MAC team. Dindy, 18 for 62. That doesn't concern me in that sense. UConn. This is one I want to see. Cam Edwards only had 15 for 57 and 1. So that is interesting. That is interesting because Cam Edwards is a decent running back. So that is a point for the Bulls on that side of the football. Eastern Michigan, Dante McMillan, 20 carries, 117 and a touchdown. And he also added 2 catches for 46 and a touchdown. So that is another point towards the yes, please. And then Minnesota, Darius Taylor had 141. Yeah. I'm playing Bangura. I think that if he's gonna come in at that ownership, I'm playing Bangura. So I'm playing probably both of these teams, which now have both Zach Branch on them, shockingly, because I anticipated playing a lot more Noah Thomas, but I'll play Zach Branch. I think he'll be lower owned. I actually both have Wyatt Young too, and Evan Simon. So they're kind of similar teams. So yeah, so I will play this team and this team. So that's gonna be my 2 Evan Simon teams. We can lock that up now. And neither one of them has the freaking running back on the other side. Okay, that's great, dummy. All right, so third team is going to have Hawkins, which means I'm not going to have Mestamaker. Let's do both. I only have one Stockton team. Can I go? All right. I'm definitely going to want Noah Thomas as the option here. So the question becomes, do I want I think Stockton Barnes makes a ton of sense. I'm going to end up having to have a Mestamaker team over here. Let's go with, I think I'm going to end up on, no, do I want it to be a Mestamaker team? I've got some Mestamaker teams. I don't particularly love them, I'll be honest. I forgot to figure out what I want to do in the $5 single entry. That's the tough one. All right, so let's just say we want Hawkins. I'm thinking Barnes Gronowski in this. So let's go Gronowski. And then let's go Barnes. I think Barnes is just a fabulous play. All right. And we definitely, let me go Chase here. Actually, I don't have to do that, but we can. That's fine. I don't mind that from the volume standpoint. I do think volume's going to be solid for him. So then that's going to give me, I can go Boyd to pair with Barnes. I can go Boyd Branch, which ends up sucking because I can't do that. Okay, so don't want to do that. 56. See, like I'm not playing Devon Booth. In Booth, I think Booth is suspended for the first half. Yeah, he's missing the first half. He's suspended for the first half. Bankston, I don't particularly love. So like then you end up with like, do you want Boyd and Jacobs? I think that's a fun way to play it. But that's not I'm spending $20 on an entry way to play it. I can tell you that right now. I ain't playing that. I ain't doing that. That's the question. Do I want to play Hawkins, man? I do and I don't. Like I'm half tempted to have my third team be Mestamaker Stockton. Because I got a Stockton Simon. And I think that makes a ton of sense. I got a Gronowski Simon. I think that makes sense. Mainly because I was able to get all the wide receivers in there. Although I could go down and then I would be able to get up to, I could make this a Bryson Barnes team. It could be a Barnes Simon team too. It's interesting. I think what we know is we know this is one team. For a fact, guaranteed. What about the UMass game? Oh, hang on. Let me look at the UMass game. Oh, Kamario Taylor's going to start. I'm not surprised by that. I'm not particularly interested, but I know that makes sense. That's what I would do if I'm them. They're just going to rotate no matter what. So, but I think that's good of them to do that. UMass. Talking about the Buffalo UMass game, I'm guessing. Y'all know I'm a sucker for this Buffalo. Well, I know it ain't the Ohio UMass game, but I'll pull it up too. Buffalo UMass. I mean, I didn't even bother looking at UMass. Oh my God. All right, Warren, you messing with me because Brandon Hood of all people ran for. Yeah, but it was on. I will tell you, I can't cherry pick and not cherry pick in this situation. If Brandon Hood doesn't have a 90-yard run, he's got 23 carries for 89 yards. So I do like to point those things out as a negative. I'm going to point it out as a negative in this spot. But yes, I agree with you. 24 for 179. Golly. Oh. I have such a hard time not wanting to play Bangura, man. So like this one I'm locking in because I love the fact that I get a stack for North Texas. Well, I didn't like him anyway. I don't know. I don't think Bothwell's dead. I think Bothwell's probably the best play. I'm just gonna play Keywan Lacey and think that they play keep away the entire day. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. What is his price on FanDuel though? If he's gonna start, he's 8K. I mean, yeah, he's the same price. So I wouldn't go there. Man, I mean, I think I'm gonna lock this in because I have 0 Stockton doubles, and I think that's a fabulous way to have a little fun here. Simon with Halloween, it's kind of matches up perfectly that when Halloween goes off, it's Simon who also goes off. You get Bangura for a low ownership. You get Wyatt Young, who's the top option for UNT. Like everything screams that that's the way I should be playing this, but it's a different way to play it because I think everybody plays Simon double stacked if they were playing Simon instead of playing Noah Thomas. They're going to single stack Stockton rather than do that. But I think you can get there just solely on value from the Simon side. And then I'd imagine that anybody who's stacking Simon is going to end up paying up to go get Hawkins. So they probably end up going Hawkins here for 2,500 more. That leaves you 2,200. You need to go down. They likely either go down from Branch, which leaves you 100 off. And then, so what I did, I've built this exact same team before. You go to Hawkins here. You go down from Young because you already have him to McMillan. So if you were redoing it, you would go Hawkins, you go McMillan, and then and then instead of Branch, you get you go get, let's see, you already got Noah Thomas. So you go Halloween. So I've built this team already. That's how I literally have entered this. And Chase, right? Now, the only way you don't do that, you can also go up one, but you got to play JoJo Bermudez, which is perfectly fine. If you wanted to play JoJo Bermudez over Chase, you can. And then that gets you Wyatt Young. If you really wanted to pay up, you go double North Texas, you go double stack for Temple, and it's a different way to play it, but it's great as well. And then that gives you your Noah Thomas Stockton single as well. So very viable to do that. You can, like I said, you can easily do the JoJo Bermudez aspect. You could go Oscar Delp or I think Lawson Lucky's in the same range. Let's see. So let's give me Bermudez, and then that allows you to do that right there. So this is a different way to do it, but kind of gets you the exposure to the two games that you like the most, which are these two clearly, and then that gives you that out in front, gives you the double to get out in front. That gives you the trail bring back stuff, and then gives you the good guys there, and then the guy we like there. So I think I might end up entering this into something, but it's not going to be what you would expect. It's not going to be this stuff, not the high end stuff at least. Because I just don't see. That's not my favorite play there. Who's got me? Somebody sending me messages. What is Mr. Katz? All right. Oh, hang on now. Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo, UMass. Yeah, that's where you get that 90-yard run. Hang on, we got some people flying in the chat right now. We gotta see. I gotta read this stuff. Do you worry about the total Temple? No. I prefer that. I prefer that. So them being behind is the what I want because it's gonna make Jay Ducker not get 20 carries. It's gonna limit Jay Ducker to 11 carries, which is then in turn gonna give me the upside to to get that to get that other stuff in there, right? I prefer that, you know. So I like that they're gonna trail in this spot. Um, where is I am looking for this slate. That sucker fill. It might have filled. Might have filled. Oh, let's see here. That might be a different one. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna edit this team. What's this one? What's this team that I put in? Let's see here. We got a Simon, Lacey, Bangura, Wyatt Young, Noah Thomas, Siobhan Wright. I actually really like that team, so I don't want to edit it. Why would I do that? How do I get this team into something? All right, where's this one? Let me enter this. Whoa. Create new lineup. All right, import. Sorry, I'm gonna set this team that I'm actually interested in playing. Import. Instead of Bangura and Wright, I want Hawkins and Bermudez. Because I actually do like that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get to questions in a second. I just want to get this one team into a 20 max spot. Because I wanted to get that while I was thinking about it. I don't know how I'm getting away from that other team. All right. So I'm going to get off of that again because I actually don't want that. And I do want Bangura. I do want my man's right there. And I want, where's my guy? Branch needs to go down bottom. do want Wyatt Young and Branch. Why does it keep doing that double click? It is driving me insane. See, I think the Siobhan Wright play makes a lot of sense. I do think it does make a lot of sense. But, I mean, in this case, if I'm playing Stockton, I want to play him double stacked in this at least one spot. All right, let's see what else we got here. Trying to build a Hawkins, Lacey, Bangura team with Stockton. All right, let me play with that. I'll play with that here in a second. Because I was trying to play that. Let's see here. So, so I know I'm playing this team. I'm going to enter it for sure because that's a lock. Let me share that tab. Let me get this thing entered just because I'm going to play that because I want to play a double for. Is this going to update or what? I clicked update entry. Let me see here. Hang on. Is it in there or not? What is DK doing? All right. Yeah, I'm fairly certain I want to end up playing this, but I'm not 100% certain. I feel like Lane Kiffin should announce his commitment at halftime. That would be more funny. Oh, I'm going to lean McMillan, Warren, but I really would end up playing if especially if it's like something that's not cost prohibitive. I play both of them, but I would lean McMillan. I don't trust Parker. I just don't trust Parker. There's too many avenues for me that to where he can burn me personally. Too many avenues where he burns me. All right, Stockton. Where is the team that I just played? I just put a team in that was right here. And it was the Stockton team with the double stack, which is quite annoying. Lacey Bangura, Halloween. Yeah, it's basically this team, but instead of this, it is that team. That's interesting. That's kind of funny. It had Branch. So update. That is kind of funny, actually. It's basically the same team I played earlier. I just shoved a different guy in there. I just shoved a stack partner in there for all the marbles. All right, we got 3 lineups left to build. So you were talking about, I am going to end up playing this because I actually do like it. Gives me Branch, gives me access there, gives me a single stack of Simon. McMillan I like, Lacey I like, Bangura I like, and I like Gronowski. I think Gronowski goes under owned. This is kind of like the all under owned team. Gronowski I think goes under owned, Bangura under owned. McMillan probably gets his ownership, but with Wyatt Young right there, he's going to probably lose some of his ownership. Branch probably goes under owned because everybody's going to flock to Noah Thomas down there at the bottom. And then Chase is kind of one of a bunch of Temple guys that's going to end up getting ownership. There's ways that this succeeds just based off of Gronowski. If Gronowski gets 2 rushing touchdowns, Simon throws for 3 bills. You know, there's options for this to win. It's not my favorite team, but I'm willing to do it because I kind of like it as a differentiator personally. Let's clear this because I don't know that I'm going to end up on that anyway. All right. What did we say? Hawkins, Lacey, Bangura. Can I do it? Lacey, Bangura. I think you can. You definitely can. And you want to do it with Stockton? We can definitely. Ooh, why am I getting? I keep getting extra clicks in here. All right, we can do it. I can make it work. Yeah, I don't know that I can get you another quarterback. Like, can I get Evan Simon? Maybe. This might be one of those situations where I'm interested in Bullock. Buddy, guys, my take on Taj Bullock is so controversial that I had people messaging me saying, "I can't believe you're willing to play Taj Bullock." I was like, guys, it's on FanDuel. It's 5,500. Like, take some shots. I can afford to take shots here. You know, can I take shots, please? Chase. Let's say Chase Thomas. Oh, I can make it work, boys. I can make it work. Oh yeah. So Chase Thomas. Hell, give me Sturzer just because I'm a freak. So like remember when I said I can jam Sturzer and if I have to, that's when I would do it. So there you go. Bang. There's your team. If you want a Bangura Lacey Hawkins team, you just basically bought all the high-end running backs with Stockton. You get Thomas, who's a stack partner. You get Simon with Chase, who's a stack partner. I don't love it because I think Simon and Gronowski are just such better plays. That's what I would play is this. I'd play Sturzer because Brock Lane's out, so you end up with a good option there. So actually, I am going to find a way to get this team in as well because I actually like this team. I'm just jamming some extra 20 maxes in for the fun of it because now y'all are making me come up with teams where I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna try to play that. Why not? I mean, why wouldn't I? You know, why wouldn't I try to play that team for the fun of it? Again, let's create a new lineup. We're gonna play. Let's see here, Stockton, and then we wanted to play Hawkins, Lacey, Bangura. Superflex is going to be Evan Simon. Okay. The wide receivers are, and there's other options, obviously. You could mix and match these lower end guys. You got the Utah guys that you could play around with. But you know, I'm partial to some of these other guys. Let's go Noah Thomas, Chase, and then Sturzer. Bang, enter. There you go. Another entry. Done. Locked in. I am not playing this in the I understand if you wanted to play this, but I'm not playing this in the $20. So all right, so we'll go ahead and enter this because I do want to play this just for the fun of it. Let me see here. I just got something. So Stochastic says their Sims exposure is 39% Mestamaker, 50% Hawkins, 50% Branch, 45% Dorner, 45% Lacey, 56% Avant, 39% Barnes. They're going Mestamaker Barnes. Colin Chase at 33%. So yeah, they're doing some different stuff. To me, I'm happy with Bangura personally, but that's also why I'm gonna play some freak show stuff. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like it basically shows me that they're gonna pay down at wide receiver, pay for the volume at Branch, pay for the volume with Dorner, pay for the volume with Chase, pay up for Hawkins. But why would you have? I mean, I know why, I guess technically, but Hawkins and Mestamaker are terrible together. In my opinion. Barnes, I think you need to play Barnes somewhat stacked at least if he's going to get there. That's just my opinion. But I mean, that's not like their lineup. It's just Sims exposures. I get it. But, you know, I do find it interesting that they're going to get to a ton of Lloyd Avant, which, sure, I guess. I don't love that spot. Personally, not my favorite. But yeah, so I like the wide receivers in this spot. I like the stack here. I'm going to play that. Why not? All right, let's share this tab. Let's get our last $20 in. And then we got to figure out what we're going to play in this one. I think I want to play a Maker double with Stockton in this, if I was to guess. So do I have a Maker Stockton double? Yes, I do. I do have one. Okay. So let's show this. Let's share this tab. So this is what I have from a Maker double with Stockton. The question is there a way that I get off of Siobhan? I mean, I like Siobhan Wright today, so I don't think that's a bad play. I don't think Holloway's necessarily exactly what I can make that into a triple, but I think Holloway's a fine play. Is there a way for me to get the Lloyd Avant here? Yes, because I can go to Carson. I could go to Dylan Carson in one of these spots and Lloyd Avant, which I don't love that. I can also go from Dorner down to Landon Sides, which I don't love that either. I feel like Siobhan Wright is just a straight sneaky play because you're probably going to get 20 carries. If he gets 100 yards and multiple scores, he's the one guy that really could do some damage against Kent State. Kent State's absolutely terrible against the run. I think it's just a fun way to play it. If everybody's going to be, especially in single entry, if everybody's going to be on Hawkins, just to get off of Hawkins is kind of a fun way to do it. You know, I think that's just kind of a fun way to do it, personally. If I'm going to do that, I don't know, man. I'm kind of debating that I kind of want to just get away from Hawkins completely in like my higher end stuff. And if he buries me, he buries me. You know, that might be the way I end up playing. Is just play away from Hawkins. That could be the play. I think this Holloway and stuff is smart. I don't know. This makes a lot of sense from a single entry standpoint. Now, granted, single entry wise, I think it also makes sense to go down from Maker or to go down maybe from Stockton. I don't know, man. Stockton's got rushing upside, and I don't think it's particularly close between Barnes and either of these two. Maybe Barnes versus Maker makes sense. But if you're fading that, then you know why at that point? Because then you need to fade everything else of him. You know, I gotta look and see. I don't know. I just don't love Jalen Daniels. He hasn't played well since the start of the year. I'm just not super into Jalen Daniels. I know what Avery Johnson did to them last week. I don't know. I think Utah got dominated on the ground game. I'm half tempted to say that I would be willing to take shots on the run game there. I just don't particularly want to. I don't like it at all. So yeah, not my favorite by far and away. Not my favorite. I don't know on this because that's where I'm just on the look. Like this is where I'm tempted to play High Shaw Reality if I was going to, but it feels like Siobhan Wright just screams play here. Screams in play. You get the Maker double. You're fading Hawkins. You get your Stockton exposure. You get Maker and Stockton together, which is not exactly easy to do. Seems like it's going to be Barnes, Maker. If Maker's coming in with that much ownership, though, why would I even play Maker? Like, I mean, I guess if I'm playing him double stacked, it makes sense. But otherwise, I'm not certain. I'm not certain on that. Let me see. Contest. Contest. Okay. Let me see here. I actually want to look at this. So if we're playing this out, so we're playing two Evan Simon teams for sure. I'm definitely out there. We're definitely playing two Zach Branch teams, so I'm not going to play him. We do not have a Mestamaker. I think it's got to be a Stockton Mestamaker team. I think I go full fade on Hawkins because otherwise, I think LaShawn Williams is fine. I'm a Highshaw fan, just slightly, but so I don't think I'm gonna play a Caleb Hawkins team. I think he's too expensive for the relative spot, and I think Mestamaker can eat here. I think we got to go with this. I think we need a Mestamaker double. I think we need this. I don't mind Holloway in that spot. I think you can go lower. In reality, you can go lower, but you cannot get the gains. That's the problem. Because the only way to get the gains is to go to Bermudez. Yeah. So would you go? That is a question and a half right there, folks. There's your $1 million question, I guess, technically speaking. Well, not really. You can go from Dorner. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Ian. That's where I'm at. That's why I didn't like playing. I only played 10 teams on FanDuel today because I don't like, I think Lacey's a lock at 11 too. I don't particularly like Moulton. I don't like Avant. I don't like Wright. I'm fine with Wright. I just kind of split exposure with them. I ended up being able to make some teams that I could get to um, Lacey with Bangura. Correct. I agree with that. I think Wyatt's not a great play on FanDuel. I do think Halloween is a great play on FanDuel though, and DK. But at 50, what is he, 5,500 on FanDuel? He's a fabulous play. He's the best cheap wide receiver on the slate. Lacey's a lock everywhere for me. I didn't build a team without him. I can't. I couldn't not do it. So this team is 1,000%. Oh no. No, 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 no. Never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. This is the coffin corner. I am not playing that. I am not playing Caleb Hawkins in the 100K. I debated that, but we're not going to. Should we play Mestamaker here? It's either we play this in this tournament and we play 6K Gronowski. I think we play Gronowski in one of these. So do I want to play Gronowski? Can Gronowski win me this tournament? I don't think he can. So I think we do that. I think we definitely go. So here you go. We're going to import that team, the Stockton Mestamaker team. I think Stockton Mestamaker needs to be our third big boy team. I have a lot of Evan Simon, as you can see. So I think this has to be our third team in the 25K, the Friday kickoff. It's got to be. So that means, oh, sorry. So I think this has to be the team. Now the question becomes this spot here, Siobhan Wright, Christian Dorner, or Cameron Dorner, sorry, Cameron, and Halloween. That becomes the 3 question marks, right? Because you can go to JoJo Bermudez and then go from Wright to Sire Gaines. Oh, you can go from Dorner to land in sides. If you want to keep with a double stack, land in sides is an option, for sure. You could also go to Larry Simmons, who's fine. Not a great option, but fine. He had a decent amount of targets last week. Decent amount of targets last week. But yeah, you can go to those types of guys, or you could keep Holloway in there. Well, you got to keep Holloway anyway. So you could go down right there, though. And if you went down, then you could go up to Bangura. Or you could decide you're going to go down. I think you can get to Bangura. That's the thing. Like, legit. So here's the thing. You can go sides. Stop with that bull. That bull junkie. You can get to Bangura here. I know you can. Yeah. Oh, you can really get there. Look at this freakiness. That's freaky. No, no, no. You ain't got to tell me, Rod. You ain't got to tell me. I'm just debating how I want to put this together because I actually do kind of like this. Now, I mean, it is taking really deep cuts on Humphreys and sides, which I don't particularly like. There's another iteration of this that's pretty easy. You can go Parker. I think it's a fun way to do it. I think you can get sides Dorner still. Yeah, and then you go right back to that, and then you still get the double there. But I really want a Temple guy in that spot. So like you could definitely get Holloway with him. You can get Sire Gaines. I think Donovan Brown's fine, but they don't throw the football. That's the problem. Like, I think Donovan Brown's a punt and a half. Like he's fine. There's just so many other good options. Like look at Jaden Denegal. He's thrown 16, 10 passes. They're just going to want to run the football. They're not going to want to throw it. If they do throw it, it is going to go through Donovan Brown, but the odds of that are slim. And you got better options around him with the Utah State guys too. So it's kind of, it's kind of just a difficult spot in that sense. What do I want to pay for, man? What do I want to pay for? That is a question. Let's build this out real quick because we did say I do want to play a Gronowski. I'll play Gronowski. I got no problem with that. I'll play Gronowski and let's go Stockton. Let's play Noah Thomas. See if I can't play 3 running backs. I don't want Victor Snow. Get out of here. I don't like Victor Snow. You know how I'm going to play. You already know. You already know. This is where I'm going to go to my mans. If they're going to play Lloyd Avant, I'll play Dylan Carson. Why does it keep double clicking? That's crazy. 4,600. Oh, well, I mean, this is pretty easy. Give me Zach Branch. I'll double stack. Double stack. Yeah, give me Zach Branch. How does it double click there? What is going on with this site right now? 5,400 I don't hate either because I could just go Brady Boyd and get some other stuff in there, but that gives me 36. I'll take Chase at 35. Bang. I like that. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. That gives me my Dylan Carson play that nobody else is going to play, that I'm going to be the only weird one that wants to be on it. I get Stockton with Branch and Thomas. I get the double stack. I get a bring back. I got Gronowski, who I think runs the ball pretty well. So yeah, I would say so. Because how does Shapen get there? And didn't we just hear that? I think we just heard Kamario Taylor was starting. Somebody did report that. Let me double check. Let's see here. I just can't deal with the Bird Thicklin stuff, so I'm trying to just avoid Utah at all costs at this point. Ohio State's a crap show for tomorrow. Hmm. I don't like all this rain today, by the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Morning, David. Morning, morning. So I think I'm going to play this because I do want to play a Hawkins team. I like Gronowski. I think he's fairly safe. I get a double stack. I get a little Temple bring back from the Hawkins stuff. And then I get Dylan Carlson, who I like. So this is going to be um, my single entry contest thing. So I think I'm going to play that. I think that's the best way for me to get a little exposure to my man without having to drop the bag on him there. All right, what do I got here? So I only have one other team I have to build for today, which is pumped, which means during the day today, I'm going to be building my 20 max stuff for tomorrow so I can get that done. So I don't have to do it tonight, hopefully. I got my family here, so I don't want to be a hermit, much as I can be. I'm a hermit, either which way. This stuff's fun, guys. I wish I could do this every day. Let's see here. So we're gonna play. We got one more team to build here. Maker with Lacey, Young, Thomas, Stockton. I think this has to be a double stack. It's got to be a Maker double, right? I think it's got to be Dorner. I don't see how you don't go Halloween, Siobhan Wright. I know I already built this team, and that's why I get in trouble sometimes. I start building those teams, and then I don't want to change them. But I just don't see how you don't go Siobhan Wright and Halloween. I mean, I get how you could not go Halloween. Obviously, I think it's 3,500. I would prefer to go Chase. Like I get the Chase theory. I get it if you wanted to go Lawson Lucky. Like even then, I would be fine with it. Problem is 3,500 leaves you with 6,400, and you're 100 short of where you're actually trying to get to because you're not trying to get to Davis. Pagan, I think, ends up out. You're trying to get to Gaines at that point. 8,800 on FanDuel for a wide receiver spot. I actually do hate that spot. To be honest with you, I know that for a fact because I looked at it last night and built teams, and I was screaming, hoping to be able to get the Concepcion. I mean, if you had to, you would go Chris Hudson. I don't prefer it. I like McMillan at 79. If you don't have Halloween, I'd just pay down for 5,500 and pay up somewhere else. But I don't love anybody. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to play Mario Craver. They're saying he's at go, so he's fine. But I would play Hudson over Craver. I'd just spend the salary, or I'd go down to Wingo, or McMillan. I mean, I think McMillan's a great play. If it gets you something, then fine, go down. But I'm not opposed to it from a raw points perspective at 8,800 and under. I'll be honest, raw points. If we said no weather, because I don't know the exact weather in Buffalo, and I wouldn't pretend to know it. If we said no weather, raw points, I would probably prefer McMillan at 7,900 over anybody from 8,800 and below. Weather considered, I probably prefer Wingo. I would rank it Wingo, Hudson, McMillan. I don't love Craver. I'm gonna play some Concepcion and Bethel Roman and some other stuff stacked. I did that, but it's not my favorite. How do we play this, folks? How do we play this? Do we want? So there's two options here. I think you either go with the Siobhan Wright team, which I have in the one. It's Siobhan Wright with Halloween. Very quickly, these are the two options. It's Siobhan Wright with Halloween, or it's JoJo Bermudez, who does not have as much ceiling, with Sire Gaines. I prefer Simon, David. I prefer Simon. I think he has more ceiling. I think Gronowski has a ton more floor, but I think the ceiling on Simon is there. And I like the stack partners for him. So I'm preferably Simon for me. I already have two Simon teams. I played them together in a team, which I think is kind of fun. But I think playing one of Simon or Gronowski is the play in most teams. This just happens to be a team that I just don't want to, and I'm just playing something different for the last team I'm trying to build. Because I like playing personally Lacey Bangura. That's my favorite way to play it, but I'm trying to be a little different here. So like here's the thing. Do you go Siobhan Wright and Halloween? So Halloween's been trash the last 3 weeks, but we know he has upside. We've seen a 146-yard game. We've seen an 83, a 3-touchdown game. I got to consider this. But at that point, I don't even have to play Halloween. I can really play whoever I want. I could technically play J.G. Buchanan. I could play Larry Simmons. I could play some Utah backup wide receivers if I wanted to. Ooh, I don't even have to play him. I can play Kahanu Davis. Oh, snap. That's smart. Oh, we just found it, boys. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay. Because I was worried. I was like, oh, crap. I'm going to have to play JoJo Bermudez, who's like, third on the team. And he does play like 70% of the snaps at least. But do I really want to play JoJo Bermudez in this spot? I kind of wanted to play Halloween. I just hit it. Because it's like, it's like a 30-26 game. This is a fairly close game. It's in Utah. Rain's not really the factor there. I don't think rain's a factor in the North Texas game either, so that's fine. Although there's usually wind there. But, like, I like Sire Gaines. He's got a big red zone advantage over everybody else. And then with Pagan out and, Anthony Garcia being more of a gadget player, he also is a wide receiver. But Kahanu Davis is going to play a lot. He had 37 yards last week on 2 targets. So, like, that is the question. All right, so let's just say I want to do this, and I want to play Sire Gaines. I kind of want to play Wayshawn Parker, I'll be honest. But I don't like anybody at 3,200 or below. I do not like anybody at 3,200 or below. Absolutely despise that range. The only one I'm willing to play is Sturzer, but I'm playing Sturzer in one team, and it's because I'm jamming somebody in. It's like it's only if I'm jamming and just have to get it. I don't think I have to get it there. I think Bermudez is the better play at 3,400 because he's on the field so much and because I know the role and I don't know the role for that. I've got Siobhan Wright exposure. I understand the Siobhan Wright play. He's not going to catch any passes. He's going to have to run for over 100 yards to get there. Does he get enough work? Do I want to play Siobhan Wright? What is Sire Gaines' pass game work? I don't think you could play Parker because there's nobody 3,200 or less that I'm willing to play. Gaines, I think there's good options. Stop with that. Gaines, I think there's good options. Because he can get you a touchdown easy. But he's not going to catch the football either. Hang on. Let me look up. I'm finish this out and then we're good for the day. Broncos, big bad boys. Oh, man. No, you can't play Shapen because Kamario Miller is Camario's getting a start, probably. Allegedly. Kamario Taylor. So you can't play if Kamario Taylor starts, you can't really play him for my money. There's too much of a rotation there anyway, no matter what. So, all right, let's take the last 3 games with Nevada. Oh, I don't know about that. Nevada, UNLV, Fresno State. I know for a fact because I did play my man Rayshawn Luke last week. He had 4 for 81 and a touchdown. That's normal for him. The backup wide receiver. Yeah. I mean backup quarterback for Mississippi State. He's 8K. Yeah, well, I mean, if that can be your YOLO play. My YOLO play for the day was playing some Taj Bullock, even though I don't know whether he's gonna start. I did just throw some in just crazy. Like if I burn it, I burn it. I don't care. I have a little bit in there. I think Rayshawn Luke is a smart, dominating them. That's what I'm saying. But that makes sense there. Jaden Thomas was out. They didn't run the ball particularly well against them. UNLV did not run the ball well against Utah State. Caleb Ramser ran the ball for 5 yards a tote. But, I mean, they're going to have to run the football. Do I want? That's literally what I've done is I'm basically going to end up building 3 different teams with 3 different Temple pass catchers in the $20. Makes sense. So like I think you either go with Keanu Davis, which I think is riskier, way riskier, but he does fit as far as the Gaines narrative goes. What was Gaines's? What's their defense ranked? It's the running back. I mean, it's not great. Gaines gets so much work around the goal line. I think you go Bermudez. It's a smarter play. He's more likely to see more passes in this one, like more chances, let's say, to break one off. And if he gets you 18, it's possible. So I think that's the smart play. Let's see. Let me look up Keanu Davis. Do you want to look at this? No, I'm out. No. I was looking to see if he was like an auto Tia. I do like Dylan Bell. I think it's a fine play. He can't catch football. He's terrible, as far as I'm concerned. He bothers me. So, do I want to play Bermudez and Gaines? I think that's a very different way to play this. Or do you want to play Siobhan Wright with Holloway? So it's Wright, Holloway versus Bermudez, Gaines. Gaines gonna have to find the end zone. It's his long run lately. He hadn't had more than a 20-yard run. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dylan Bell's got like stone. Dylan Bell would be a better pass receiver if you took 2 bricks, or if he played Edward 40 hands, he'd be better at catching the football. Yeah, put 2 things of Old English on his hands, he'd be able to catch better because his hands are like bricks. I mean, he's terrible. It's like, I don't even know that. I'd be curious to ask Dylan Bell if he knew how to clap. Like, does his hands actually go together, or does he like do like the Les Miles thing or something? Like, where he can't clap. I don't know. I feel like Siobhan Wright makes so much sense in this spot, man. If he runs for 102 scores, he's outscored. He's got the backfield a little bit more. Like, there's risk. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of risk with Siobhan Wright. But there's a non-zero chance he runs for 150 yards here. I think I think the odds of Gaines repeating this from last week are slim to none. He's more likely to go for like 80 and a touchdown. And I don't think that 15 is going to cut it. I don't disagree, Myron. I think Kansas is troublesome trying to figure out. And they've run the football particularly well. I just think I want to go Holloway and Wright. Holloway's been awful 3 weeks in a row, but you've seen ceiling. But it's only been twice. 2 high-scoring games, too. 2 games played in the 30s. The 2 close games they played that were high-scoring, Holloway was a monster. Got 15 minutes to figure this out. All right. Even then, though, Bermudez was good in those 2 games, too. It's just he wasn't as good, but he was still good. And he's been good in other games that Holloway hasn't been good in. I don't trust Bronco Mendenhall, man. I do not trust Bronco Mendenhall. Not to play defense, I don't. 29.5 in this one. I'm still playing with a wide receiver. I'm playing this team. Settled. Boom. I am playing Gaines and Bermudez. I like Bermudez. I liked him coming into the season. I like Gaines. I'm a Gaines fan. Personally, I've just been on the kid for a long time. All right. That's what I'm playing. So you guys have kind of seen what I'm playing. I will be back tomorrow talking the live before lock. Let me double check, make sure there's no news. You are getting long shows, man. I had 2 hours last night, going 2 hours this morning. I appreciate you all for tuning in, listening to me rant. Yeah, Kamario Taylor took the first snap of 11 on 11 drills. I don't know what that means, though. That's all it says. Yes, we got big enough, baby. We're getting spam. Shout out you, D9B. Thank you for spam in the chat. That just means that I'm getting big enough for it. I love Bronco. Yeah, but you're a Virginia fan, Myron. You should like Bronco. You should also hate Bronco because he left took his whole thing with him, and he had that thing humming. Brennan Armstrong is one of my 5 favorite players in the last 20 years of college football, and he ruined him. Absolutely ruined him. He blew that thing up, and it annoys me. So just saying. That bothers me so much. So yeah, we'll see. Ugh. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to enter this team, and we're going to shut her down. We're going to enjoy some ball today, and hopefully win some money before the main event tomorrow. Tomorrow's the main event, and I think we're going to end up on all in on Diego Pavia and maybe the Greek rifle. I'm not sure, but we're going to be all in on Pavia. So I'll have an update on the exactly. Thank you, Myron. That's what I agree with. Yeah, Kamario Taylor. He's pretty good athlete, pretty good little athlete. But yeah, I'm gonna have an update on the Florida State wide receivers. I got a guy that covers the team that'll let me know what the deal with Javen Boggs is, which is going to matter come tomorrow. So good luck, everybody, today. Enjoy your day watching football. One of the last few great days that we're going to have this season, but we're going to enjoy the hell out of them as long as we can. So I will see you guys later.